You know what all the cool kids are doing these days? Listening to podcasts. And what does Toxic Radio have? Podcasts, duh.
Just as I thought.
Go to toxicradio.net and check out our weekly schedule for the lineup of great shows. Miss any of them live? No worries.
Thank God, dude.
We're on all the top podcast platforms, or just find them at toxicradio.net or on the free app. The choice is yours. Be cool or not.
We're gonna be cool.
Toxic Radio. Get the podcasts and get infected. Got an idea for a podcast and think you have the talent to make it a reality? Already have a podcast, but been thinking you could take it up a notch, but you're just not sure how to do it? Well, Toxic Entertainment has everything you need to go from podcasting to podcasting. Bring us your talent, your passion, and your best ideas. We'll bring to the table our state-of-the-art technology and comfortable facility, creative and professional staff dedicated to bringing your ideas to life, competitively priced packages to suit your goals and budget, and over 10 years of experience as a leader in the podcasting field. Toxic Entertainment offers quality and affordability that can't be beat. When you're ready to start your journey, Toxic Entertainment is here to help you reach your destination. Learn more at toxicentertainment.net or call 888-66-TOXIC to arrange a studio tour. That's 888-66-86942. Toxic Entertainment, where creativity meets passion.
Hey, buddy. Brah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is the place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Birds Deep. It's been 2 weeks. We are back. We got a lot to talk about. There's been a lot of shit that is going down. I'm THEEGODFREY. Next to me, I got my man Gene over here. Me! Nice.
Fired up, Godfrey. I'm fired up, man.
Fired up.
It's that pre-workout.
Pre-workout, the music bed gets you hyped, you know.
I love the music. The music is fire for this show.
One day it's going to fly right into your living room like an eagle.
I'm really hoping for that.
One day.
It's kind of bullshit. We've asked for that for like a year.
Isn't there a song, Fly Like an Eagle? Is that a song?
And we could play that to come in with the eagle that flies in.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Throw stuff at Toxic Mike.
So, big free agent signing for the Eagles today. Huge one I've been clamoring for all of season. Derek Barnett brought back on 2 years.
Let's go!
Super Bowl. Yeah, I heard they're bringing Peters back, too.
Get the hell out of here, bro. Is that what we want to start? We want to start with Derek Barnett?
Well, I mean, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I didn't think we were. But, I mean, we'll get into the Eagles offseason. Obviously, so far, we've been off.
HowieSZN, bro.
HowieSZN. Things they've done that you like, things they've done that they don't like. We don't like. You know, we also got our new favorite, Guess That Eagle. We're going to talk about some other off-season NFL moves, winners and losers, how that can impact the Eagles. Maybe people they can go after now they wouldn't be able to go after before. And, of course, we're always going to have to talk about Jalen Hurts until it has been put to rest, and that has not been put to rest yet. So, Zach Pascal had his interview today. I was very, I missed that on the radio. They said they talked to him about competition. I wanted to hear that.
Oh, my God, bro. I heard it. He said him and Nick Sirianni compete who can drink a bottle of water faster.
Wow.
It's almost like the rock, paper, scissors shit all over again.
I almost wish someone in the press room would just be in the back, be like, reach!
So it's not a reach. So listen, here's the thing with Zach Pascal. If the Eagles are done, it's an awful move.
Right.
The Eagles are not done. I don't mind Zach Pascal as a third or fourth wide receiver. because that's what he is. And obviously has the connection with Nick Sirianni from Indianapolis, and he likes him for that way. I have a huge name that I think the Eagles will have in the next 72 hours on their team. Huge name.
A receiver.
Yes, huge name.
Who do you think that is? Might as well let the cat out of the bag,
Already?
Yeah.
I mean, like 3. I want to like tease him.
All right, we'll do it later.
No, I'll do it.
Do it later. We could tease him. I mean, we could go into Cox. He got re-signed for a year, right? 15 mil. What was it?
So, I don't mind that signing at all.
I don't either.
think so Fletcher Cox wants to reinvigorate his career, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles cut him, re-signed him for less money on a prove-it deal.
Yeah.
Listen, last year you were dog shit. You didn't earn any of the money that we have to cut you. We have to let you go, and we'll sign you back for less money because he wasn't getting that money anywhere. He had an awful year.
And he didn't seem like he was into it, right? Like at certain points of the season, for sure. I mean, I'm a Fletcher Cox fan, but
my man Jacob McDevitt has already put it out there. I have to say it at this point.
Okay,
Jacob, that is exactly who I think the Philadelphia Eagles will go after. I think within 72 hours, Devontae Parker will be a Philadelphia Eagle for a 4th-round draft pick. It's Howie season.
It's Howie season.
I hate Howie Roseman, FYI. I just like to use that line.
Okay.
I think Devontae Parker will be the next Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver. I think your receiving core looks a lot like Devontae Parker, Devontae Smith, and Zach Pascal, with Jalen Reagor being your 4, Quez Watkins being your 4 or 5, and that will be your 5 wide receivers. I think we've seen the end of J-Jaw.
Not J-Jaw.
Listen, he's the best blocking wide receiver in the NFL. That's what Nick Sirianni will tell you.
So I think that's why I think Pascal's not a bad blocker, right? He was in a similar system, and I don't hate that signing. I think it's a good role player signing. I think he could be a good number 3. I think he's reliable. I think he's a good team guy, and they didn't pay a lot of money for him. If that's your only receiver that you're signing or acquiring, so to speak, yes, I do think that's an overall disappointment. And when I say acquire, I would assume, like, let's say they didn't get Devontae Parker, I would assume they're going to at least draft a receiver with one of those 3 first-round picks.
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this now for anybody listening. If you think the Philadelphia Eagles are taking 3 players in the first round, I have some oceanfront property in Indiana I would like to sell you. In Iowa, I would like to sell you. In Kansas, I would like to sell you, because there is 0% chance the Philadelphia Eagles are making all 3 of those picks.
Okay.
0. They're going to trade for draft capital next year. They're going to use one of those as a leverage piece to get a higher, and they're going to bet on a team doing bad and hopefully have more leverage to go after a quarterback in next year's quarterback class.
So, yeah, and that's entirely possible. I don't see that out of the realm of possibility at all, especially when you factor in the cap. I'm never worried about the cap with Howie Roseman. Say what you want about him, but I'm never worried about the cap.
Why?
I mean, he's gotten under it every time, right?
No, everybody has to get under it. You have to get under it.
Right.
He kicks the cap down the road. They have the 4th most dead money in the NFL. They're the worst salary cap team in 2024, which is 2 years from now.
Right. But it's a trend in the NFL, though.
I think he's awful.
It's a trend in the NFL. They were number 1 dead cap money for a while, and then...
Now they're number 4?
Yeah, but I'm saying it seems to be a trend in the NFL where people are willing to kick you down the road often. I mean, it seems like that's the way the league's going. I mean, when you look at the Saints, they've had to kick a ton of cans down the road, right, because of horrible contracts. People that have these big quarterback contracts have had to do it in certain instances. I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, but a lot of people have to restructure bonuses, and that's how you're doing it. You're moving these bonuses to different years, and the players are willing to do it. But I don't know. We're at a stopgap, and we'll get to it later with certain positions. But I'm with you on where you want to go with Devontae Parker. I think that is – I had that thought the other night because where's he going to go? And I do like Devontae Parker, and I think he's a decent receiver. He was hurt a lot last year.
Mark it down.
You think that's going to happen? Is that just
it is happening.
A gut feeling, or you're reading the tea leaves?
It's a scientific fact.
Okay, a scientific fact. All right. I want you to be right because
he might as well be wearing midnight green right now.
That's strong.
Yes.
Okay.
You know the Eagles had a deal in place for Calvin Ridley, right?
Yeah, until he decided to do a parlay. Yeah. Which it had bads on. I can't even. Don't even get me started on it. I forgot that even happened. I just feel like it's one of the dumbest moves ever. Do I? Listen. People say, "Oh, the NFL, they're hypocritical," and you may be right, but I understand them having to protect the brand to a certain extent, and they make money off of the DraftKings proceeds and other things like that. So, yeah, it sucks, but like if you're in a real world situation, we all have sucky jobs, sometimes sucky rules at jobs, and we don't want to obey it, but we do a cost analysis. Like, well, if we don't, we might lose it. Well, where's his cost analysis? $1,500 parlay, $11 million. Don't know. Maybe he didn't know what the fuck he's talking about, or maybe there's a lot of yes people around. But I would have liked to have Calvin Ridley, but I mean, Jesus, what do you know what they were going to pay for him? Did that come out?
I don't know.
I didn't think that came out. I wasn't sure.
The trade talks didn't come out. All they said that the Eagles had a deal in place to have him come from Atlanta to Philadelphia. It was done.
Yeah.
And Atlanta told them that the investigation that was going on, they had to stop the deal in the middle of it. And I'm not a huge Calvin Ridley fan to begin with.
I'm not either. I mean, listen, if he's going through something, he's going through something.
He's not.
He's not. And let's call it what
he's gambling on football last year.
Yeah. It's too Ben Simmons-esque for me.
Yes.
I'm not fucking having another guy come here like that. I wouldn't give a fucking 6th-round pick for him if you're asking me. I say, if I was the GM, I say, no fucking way. This guy disappears on a team when he had the opportunity to step up after Julio left and take the reins, and he's too busy with his head up his ass. No, thank you.
Yep, I agree with you 100%.
I'm not doing it, and I'm tired of athletes like that. Like, you have an opportunity to prove it. You have one of these jobs that are few and far between, and that's your reaction. You wilt. No, I'm sorry. And fantasy football wise, people were very disappointed in that guy. I mean, he's late 1st round, early 2nd round pick, right? I mean, so a lot of people had their eyes on him. He's gone, and heard people trying to make up stories for him, mental health. I don't want to hear anything about mental health. Share it with us. You know who had mental health problems and he overcame it? Brandon Marshall. Talks about it all the time. Look to that as an example. Let's stop looking to these guys that want to hide behind it. I'm sorry. I'm a big mental health advocate, and I just can't stand.
I just don't like people to use the aspect of mental health to get out of being in a shitty situation.
Right.
Like, he didn't want to play last year.
No.
They got their ass kicked in opening day by the Eagles. He's seen the writing on the wall that Atlanta wasn't going anywhere and didn't want to waste this season.
Mm-hmm.
And he just didn't want to play. I don't believe that he had mental health issues. I just don't.
He would have been real butthurt if they ended up getting Deshaun Watson, but they didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Devontae Parker, it's a guy I would like to see in the Eagles, but there's a lot of moves that happen in the offseason.
I'm telling you, Devontae Parker will be an Eagle. You might as well just start writing in the depth chart.
I'm thrilled with that if that happens.
I'm that confident.
I want a big-bodied receiver.
He's going to be a 4th-round pick, too.
He can
nothing much.
Yeah, he can high point the ball well. He's a big-bodied receiver. He's got good hands. He's been on shitty teams and has performed. So, and, you're going to have to high point the ball and make some acrobatic catches with, the quarterback we got right now.
Speaking of the quarterback, let me ask you a question real quick because this has come up everywhere. Because the amount of teams that are interested in him you're running out. Baker Mayfield needs a new home. Would you rather have Baker Mayfield on a 1-year prove-it deal or Jalen Hurts?
I'm going to catch some heat for this. I'm going to go Baker Mayfield. I mean, some of you listening to the show might not be surprised. I don't dislike Jalen Hurts. I just feel like Jalen Hurts has been a very good soldier, and in comparison to Baker Mayfield, he didn't start sending tweets and taking things off his Twitter because he heard they were trying to trade for another quarterback. So I'll give him that in the plus side. But Baker did take the Browns to a playoff game.
Won a playoff game
on the road against Pittsburgh, which they never do. They always seem to lose to Pittsburgh. They trounced the shit out of them. And there's something to be said for that. Now, remember, last year he played hurt with a torn labrum. I don't know if it was him or his offense, but if you trade for him, I believe he's on the 5th year of his deal anyway. So it's no risk.
They picked up his 5th-year option. This year's $18 million. The Browns are going to have to eat some of that money. Right. It's going to have to happen. I'm smart. I'm telling you right now, this is the scenario in which Baker Mayfield comes to the Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles give up a 3rd-round draft pick.
Think we have to get that much?
Yes. 3rd-round draft pick. The Browns eat $10 million of his $18 million salary. The Eagles put him on an $8 million contract this year. 1 year, $8 million prove-it deal. With the opportunity to re-sign and extend here if he has a great year, or an opportunity to move on to the draft next year.
Well, Browns need draft capital because of the trade they did to get into Deshaun Watson.
100%.
And they also guaranteed a $230 million contract. So,
They need draft capital.
yeah, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, anybody who's an honest Eagles fan, if you just want, and when I say honest Eagles fan, I know who there's you stands out there who are like, oh, Jalen. You're not watching the game.
I can't take the Jalen stands. I really can't. The Jalen stands to me are almost like the anti-Carson guys, like because they wanted to be so right on Jalen, like so right on Carson that they had to be right on Jalen. It's okay for them both to suck. It's all right. It's okay. Let me help you out. It is okay if they both suck.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make something very clear to you right now. Jalen Hurts is not close to an NFL quarterback. He's a fringe backup quarterback.
So here's a
He
dynamic.
doesn't have accuracy, bro.
Here's a dynamic that I think people don't think about as far as the receiver department for the Eagles. I think some have. The logic here is
Hackney said, but rather have Landry. Can't get him with Baker. Would you rather have Baker and Devontae Parker or Landry and Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I'd rather have Baker and Devontae Parker. So here's the thing. I understand Baker has some drawbacks. No doubt about it. Not saying he's perfect. But here's the thing that Eagles fans that are the Jalen Hurts stands don't understand. One, they'll complain about no one wanting, there's no receivers. Now, if I'm Allen Robinson and I'm choosing between Matthew Stafford and a pass-heavy offense that balances the run, or a run-heavy offense with an inaccurate quarterback, I'm going to go to the Rams. And that might not have been a deciding factor. And I think receivers are starting to get smarter that way because I would always question, why are you going there? Because who's going to throw you the ball? Juju Smith-Schuster took a very small contract in Kansas City.
It's a genius contract.
It's a genius contract, but I think it's a smart move on Juju's part too.
It's a genius
because
contract
listen,
for
he's
Juju.
betting on himself. He'll get more money next year. There's no way he doesn't get more productivity. He didn't want to go play with Lamar Jackson. Say what you want about Lamar, but he backed out, went back with Ben because he was concerned about who's passing the ball. And I think that's a dynamic you're going to see with certain receivers. That's why I don't think Julio Jones will come here because he's a guy that's going to get disinterested if he's not getting the ball, and he needs about 7 catches a game.
If you want Julio Jones, you are living in the past so much.
You're in your bedroom, haven't taken a shower for 5 days, living in franchise mode in Madden. If you want Julio Jones, that's where you're at.
He's not it.
He doesn't want to. Listen. Julio is great. I look at Julio like this. He had a lot of great talent, but he's not. I don't feel like he's a guy that wants to grind out extra years and loves the game. That's why he's always injured, always off the field. That's why the Titans didn't stick with him. That's why he's not signed. So what the fuck would you want a guy like that on the Eagles for? What value is he going to bring to the team?
No, I don't think. I think he'll be injured, and I think that he'll constantly be nursing a hamstring injury. I think that Julio Jones' best days are over. I feel like he could be a piece on a playoff team that comes in and understands that he's there to stay healthy this year and make it for a playoff run. But it's not. It's just not. His prime is over. I want to respond to something Chris Hackney said on the Birds Deep comment board. I mean, Hurts made the playoffs. Dilfer wasn't a stud, but great D and a running game made him a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Chris, let me help you here real quick. I love you. I understand that you have Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback and you're a Titans fan. Here's the facts of it.
Tannehill's great at play action, by the way, but
Here's the facts of Jalen Hurts. You can say he made the playoffs, but the Philadelphia Eagles had the most cupcake schedule ever last year. Their 9 wins were against quarterbacks that, I'm not kidding when I tell you this, there might not be one quarterback that they played against this year that starts in 2023. Not one.
Well, they played Daniel Jones once.
Correct. So in 2023.
2023. Gotcha.
I'm talking about, no, a quarterback they beat. They lost to Daniel Jones.
Oh, that's true.
Here's the quarterbacks they beat. Ready? After this year, Matt Ryan's going to play, obviously, this year in Indianapolis. Would it be foreseeable if Matt Ryan retires or isn't playing in the NFL if he has a bad year?
Yeah, I think he's got 2 good years in him behind a good
Sam
O-line.
Darnold, do you think he's going to be playing next year?
Not for lack
Starting
of age. No, he shouldn't be. I mean, no.
Taylor Heineke.
I don't think he'll be starting this year.
Taylor Heineke. Will he be starting this year?
Not unless Carson gets hurt. Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Garrett Gilbert.
Who?
Exactly.
He was on the Redskins?
Is it possible that if Zach Wilson has another bad year, he's not starting next year?
It's possible.
Okay. Like, you can go through it. Teddy Bridgewater is already a backup quarterback.
Where's he a backup at?
Miami.
Oh, okay.
He's backing two up. But it's possible. Cooper Rush was another one. It's possible that the Philadelphia Eagles might have had 9 wins against quarterbacks that won't be in the league within 2 years.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So
Talking about he made the playoffs. What, to get your doors rung by Tom Brady and the Buccaneers?
yeah,
That
and
game wasn't competitive. It was 30-3 at one point.
I'll give Sirianni this. Like, first year, he got the team into the playoffs, and Jalen Hurts did enough to do it. However,
Stop saying he got the team to the playoffs. When you're playing against Cabbage Patch Kids,
still got to play.
it doesn't matter. They suck.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're perennial, but you only can play who you can play on the schedule. They can't help that. And
I get it, but like the narrative around Eagles fans that the Eagles made the playoffs. Yes, they were a participant in the playoffs this year.
yeah, that's
That's a joke.
That's not a blueprint to say that that last year was a complete success, and you don't have to. You can build around Jalen. I agree 100%. That can't
They
be your
beat
premise.
Jacob Fromm.
Yeah, you can't. play
Sam
around that.
Darnold. I'm tired of talking about it at length. I'm tired of talking about what Eagles fans. Guys, listen to me. The Philadelphia Eagles stink.
So Chris says that's silly. Hill playing with Tua, QB mean squat. Is he saying that it's not a good idea for Hill to play with Tua?
It's all about the money. It's dumb that it's Hill's playing with Tua because Tua can't reach him.
Right.
But it's all about the dollar. He got $120 million. He got $30 million
It's
a
all
year.
about the dollar. And we were talking about this before the show. Don't be surprised if he gets in trouble down there. Hometown, Miami's got a lot of shit going on. But besides that, he's a speed receiver. Great move for the Chiefs, bad moves for the Dolphins. And this is why it's a bad move. Because you're not stretching the field with Tua. So those cute little fucking screens, they're going to be the defense is going to be looking for that. They're not going to be as afraid of the deep ball from a Patrick Mahomes. And I just don't know if he can take full advantage of it. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But for what the film has shown, that isn't the case. And I guess they're saying they're all in with Tua here. But it also is do or die for Tua, too, because he has all these weapons. And I got to imagine he ain't going to be a starter in 2023 if he has a shitty year, too.
If the Dolphins don't make the playoffs, Tua cannot be back there.
No. And you got rid of
With
a good coach for that.
That franchise is awful.
Yeah.
Stephen Ross is a terrible owner. That's a terrible franchise. They just guaranteed a wide receiver $30 million a year. You will never win a Super Bowl with a receiver making $30 million. It'll never happen.
Yeah, and
never.
It just doesn't make any sense. But you know what? Good for the Chiefs. Smart move by them because they're going to show you what you need to do with a franchise QB and not paying $30 million to a receiver a year, guaranteed. Right? Is it? Guaranteed?
No, it's the first year is guaranteed, obviously, but $84 or $84 million out of the 120 is guaranteed. 84 million.
I mean, Kansas City and Miami are two different cities, man. We'll see if he can stay out of trouble. I hope he can, but
he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill's a piece of shit. If you don't know,
punch pregnant.
I want you to read up on Tyreek Hill. Him going to Miami Beach with $120 million is the worst move he can ever make in his career.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't tell you how stupid he is, I don't know what will.
Listen, and here's the thing about that. There's a reason why he was that talented and was a 5th-round draft pick.
He punched his pregnant girlfriend.
Right. That does lend to the credence, so that if you have talent, the NFL will get you on the field no matter what. But that's a whole nother story. Yeah, so that's a crazy move. Matt Ryan going to, I personally think that's an upgrade for him going to Colts. I think he can, and that's a weak division too. I think he can maybe make a playoff push. I think he's still got some left in him. I think he's got a year or two.
The Titans are, listen, we felt for the song and dance last year with Carson. You think Matt Ryan's a huge upgrade over Carson?
I do.
I don't. Did you watch Matt Ryan in Atlanta this year?
I did, but Matt Ryan,
he's not good.
They don't have a good offensive line. That's a way better offensive line.
It is.
And I think he makes decisions to the ball quicker. He's not mobile at all.
He's not going to make the special plays that Carson made. He's also not going to make the dumb turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a huge upgrade. It's a very dumb argument. The Titans are the best team in that division.
I think he's intelligent enough to manage the game the way they need him to, and that's only what they needed Carson to do last year, and that didn't happen. And I think that was the difference between them being in the playoffs and not, because they had the number one rusher. They have a top 3 offensive line.
Yeah, but this year, the only team that's making the playoffs out of the AFC South is the winner of the division.
Yeah, because you got the strong AFC West.
The AFC period.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
It is absurd.
Like, if you go through the AFC, the NFC, thank God the Eagles are in the NFC. Because you don't have to run through the gauntlet of the AFC. Like,
Imagine being in the AFC West division.
Hold on. There's 7 teams make the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, watch this. Ready? Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Titans, Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, Ravens, Steelers, Deshaun Watson, and the Browns.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
There's 11 teams.
I mean, the AFC North is crazy now, too. I mean, I know.
There's 11 teams I just read you. 4 of them won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to hear next year after the season.
That's without the Colts.
We need to realign the leagues because there's so many playoff teams in the AFC.
And that's without the Colts. Add the Colts to that mix. That's 12 teams.
Well, they would have to win the division.
100%. You have to beat out the Titans. Now, Ryan Tannehill stinks. Okay?
I think he's serviceable, though. It's
Serviceable.
I mean, with a healthy Derrick Henry.
Ryan Tannehill's in the same category, in my opinion, as Matt Ryan, as Baker Mayfield, as Carson Wentz is.
Sure. I mean, they're
serviceable quarterbacks.
Yeah.
At best.
I think Ryan Tannehill is good at play action. That's the only thing I think he's good at. He's somewhat athletic. Not horrible. He's not going to win you a game, but he can make some throws when you need him to. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, how about being the Raiders, and you still might be favored to finish last in that division, and you got Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how deep.
It's another team, $28.5 million a year to Devontae Adams. You're never going to win a playoff game, never going to win a Super Bowl with a receiver making $28.5 million.
I feel like teams make certain moves knowing it's not going to make them playoff ready, but sell tickets. And I feel like that's one of those moves.
Yeah, but you just guaranteed the guy 4 years, $28.5 million a year.
Yeah. But the Raiders fans are probably all amped up about it, right? Why not? We made the playoffs last year. Why can't it be us, you know? And it was the most – think about how the Raiders got into the playoffs. Yeah, they weren't supposed to win against the Colts. They did. They weren't supposed to – I mean, the tie happened, and they were playing the Chargers. I mean, Brandon Staley, if he doesn't get in the playoffs this year and do well with the team, he's got to be fired midseason. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that guy –
Brandon Staley is the AFC version of Cliff Kingsbury.
Yep.
They're the same coach. They're just not good coaches with amazing talents at the quarterback position.
Although
the only difference
Herbert is better in the head than
correct.
Murray.
The only difference is Justin Herbert's better in the head than Kyler Murray is.
Yeah.
He's not more talented. He's better in the head.
I'm taking Herbert over him. I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody.
Not talent-wise.
You take Murray over Herbert?
No, he runs a 4.3, bro.
Who you mean Murray does?
Kyler Murray's a 4.3.
I'm still taking Herbert over him.
If you give me Kyler Murray in the right system with the right coach, in the right offense, I think Kyler Murray could be the best quarterback in football. The difference is he's playing for Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury's the biggest fraud NFL coach you'll ever see in your entire life.
Yeah, I don't.
You want to talk about a guy that went 7-6 and 8-5 with Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech and got himself an NFL job, got the #1 pick, and had Kyler Murray fall into his lap.
Yeah, and I don't disagree.
It's a fraud.
I'm not a Cliff Kingsbury supporter here, but I also am not impressed by Kyler Murray's attitude and the way he wrapped things up. I feel like, with his talent, he should be able to do more, and I don't dig his attitude, man.
I don't think his attitude either. I just mean, like, if you put Kyler Murray in the right situation with the right head coach that will put him in check, it's a totally different ballgame.
Well, if it doesn't go well for him this year, he's definitely going to force his way out of Arizona. He's going to
okay.
it. I guarantee it. So I don't know where he'll go.
But then he'll get the pick to where he goes. I don't think that should – bro, lock him into a contract and then fire the head coach and bring in a coach a Kyle Shanahan-type coach and see what happens.
Yeah, I think the problem in Arizona is twofold. I think Clint, the coach, stinks, and I'm just not sold on Murray, man.
You're not sold on Murray's talent?
I'm sold on his
Let me
talent.
ask you a question. How much do you think head coaching matters in the NFL?
I think it matters.
A ton, right?
A ton, yeah.
A ton.
Mm-hmm. I think it matters a ton.
So if you have a dog shit head coach, how far do you think you can go with a bad head coach?
I don't think you can go far, but I think when you have a lot of talent, I think sometimes you can overcome a dog shit head coach and just be an underachieving team. Like, you can make the playoffs. Like, they started out pretty well. And when I'm watching his performance down the stretch, I didn't see a guy that was like, I'm in this. Like
you know,
I saw him wilting.
Do you know that's Cliff Kingsbury's entire career, from Texas Tech
I believe it.
to now?
I
He
believe
starts off well and he finishes really weak.
So then that's the alternative. Then if they have a bad year, they're going to fire Kingsbury, and then
He just got extension.
the extensions sometimes end up getting eaten. Remember, that doesn't go against the cap, right? So
Just the owner paying the money out.
yeah, I mean, wouldn't be the first time, but we'll see. Quarterbacks make things move, but we'll see, man. I hope he does better because I like to see as many good quarterbacks in the NFL as possible. I just see him playing baseball in the near future. That's.
Mike, can you do me a favor? I just want to do this because we've done it before. That draft website, I'm going to send it to you again. To auto-populate the draft because we're going to get in a draft in a minute, and I want to really be able to do this draft simulator. Is that cool? Is that cool with you guys? Okay.
So
yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. A lot of QB movement. Isn't it wild how much QB movement there's been in the offseason so far? I mean, it's got to be the most in NFL history. Like the QB movement that we've seen in this offseason. It's not usually like that. Watson immediately upgrades the Browns. Landry's got to be like, damn it. Should have stayed. If you're Amari Cooper, you're probably ecstatic because now you don't feel like you're playing with Kirk Cousins anymore. His words, not mine. I mean, how can you not be happy about that? So the QB movement is mind-blowing. I never thought Matt Ryan would end up on the Colts, but teams seem to be willing to take salary hits and dump off things earlier to rebuild, and it seems to be happening more often. So
one of the biggest problems in the NFL that a lot of people need to understand is the way they treat fake money. Like, there's no salary cap. Let's stop pretending there's a salary cap. Because every time there is a salary cap, what ends up happening is a team will convert their money from salary cap to bonus money.
Mm-hmm.
And then they cheat the system. That's not a salary cap.
Right. But you can't, all right, so you can move the money around so that bonus doesn't hit on that year, and then you're really not going over the cap, but you're
correct.
Still, right.
And not even that, you can turn it into bonus money.
Right.
And that's an issue.
You think they're going to rein that in?
Yeah, the next collective bargaining agreement, maybe. So I see you guys on the website. Just click the Philadelphia Eagles. Should be in the NFC. And then you're simulating the draft with just the Philadelphia Eagles. So when you get there, we'll pick for the Philadelphia Eagles, essentially. Take your time. No biggie. I know I threw this on you guys last minute. I apologize. But we're going to do a little bit of draft simulation.
Yeah, why not?
I love it. I've been doing like 100 of these.
So we both agree that the Eagles aren't buying into Jalen Hurts long term.
No, definitely not. They wouldn't be connected to Deshaun Watson. They wouldn't have been connected to Malik Willis. They took Kenny Pickett out to dinner the other night.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, come on, man. Let's stop. If you believe the Eagles are bought in on Jalen Hurts, you're not paying attention. You're just not.
And listen, let's take the emotions out of it.
Why would they take Kenny Pickett out to dinner if they were bought in on Jalen Hurts?
The reason they haven't bought in is because it's very simple. He hasn't shown the ability to make anticipatory throws and throw a receiver open. And if you don't have a strong arm like a Josh Allen, which he doesn't have a Josh Allen type of arm, he's not Chad Pennington, but you're going to have to make these timing throws in this type of offense, and he hasn't shown the consistency in being able to do that, and that's going to be a problem because in the NFL, you need the ability to come back if you get behind because this is an offense-driven league, like it or not. And you can't show me teams like, let's look at the Baltimore Ravens. Not comparing them, they're different quarterbacks. Lamar's elite in certain things that he does, but look at the limitations of their game. There's receivers that, people say they can't draft a good receiver.
Select 2 rounds, by the way.
I disagree. I think Rashad Bateman is a good receiver. I think that he can't be taken advantage of in their offense, but you know who's happy in that offense? Mark Andrews, a tight end, because he's living over the middle, and he won't pass it anywhere else. I don't know why that is, but that's a limitation on the offense. It makes it easier for defense. The best game that comes to my mind, the Dolphins game against the Ravens.
We're at the 15th pick right now. We're going to hit reject that offer because we're going to make our own pick. That offer from the Bengals.
You wouldn't take that pick?
No.
You wouldn't take that offer?
No. And
whoa, what about this one?
I like, it's 15 and 83 though, so reject that one too. We're going to make a pick here.
So you don't want 2 late first rounders? Get that? Okay.
No. Okay, so on the right side, you see the players that are available. Jordan Davis out of Georgia is a monster.
That's the D tackle, right?
Yes.
Number 99.
Monster. 347 pounds.
He's number 99 in college, right?
I don't know.
Only reason I say that is I could see him.
Jamison Williams is the receiver from Bama that tore his ACL. I don't want him. Derek Stingley Jr. is a stud cornerback.
Is it the Arkansas?
No,
kid?
LSU.
Okay.
That's a wide cornerback from LSU. Stingley Jr. Olave is the speed wide receiver from Ohio State. I don't want the guard from Boston College. Devin Lloyd is a stud inside linebacker from Utah, and Jermaine Johnson is the edge rusher that went from being literally had a dominant Senior Bowl and went from being a mid-second round pick to being a first-round pick. So out of these players, now keep in mind, we get to pick 2.
How much relevance do you put into a Senior Bowl performance? Do you think?
I love it. I think Senior Bowl performances are way more important than pro days.
Okay. Yeah, I think pro days can be manipulated, in my opinion, but.
So my question for you is, if this is where you're sitting, you got a stud D tackle, you got a wide receiver that's probably could have been the best receiver in this class, Jamison Williams, but he tore his ACL in national championships, so you're not going to get him a whole first year.
I don't want a guy that's hurt.
You got Stingley Jr., who's the best corner in the class, him and Sauce Gardner. You got Olave, probably the fastest guy in the class, 4. He was the one that ran the 4.2, and they got corrected to a 4.3, 40. And then Devin Lloyd, stud inside linebacker. And then Jermaine Johnson, stud pass rusher that moved up because of his Senior Bowl performance. So out of that.
Florida State?
Yes. Who do you want out of those players?
So the guy from Georgia, the knock on him was that he doesn't play every down.
Correct. He's not a 3-down defensive tackle.
So he's playing 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing.
They want to work him into being a 3-down. Obviously, him being a first-round draft pick.
So it's not a physical limitation. It's a cardio.
He's 347 pounds.
Okay.
But like I think he just ran like a 4.7.
Yeah, I saw him do the combine run. It was fucking
insane.
Right.
Like he could be like if he.
Why doesn't he play 3 downs? I don't understand. He's winded.
Cardio, maybe. I don't know.
He just fucking smoked at 40. Like.
Well, it doesn't mean if you can run fast. Does that mean you can run fast for a long time? He's 347.
I would trust his cardio over Fletcher Cox, but that's just me. I mean, at this point.
So in this point, we get to pick 2 players. I'm gonna let you pick the first player based off what I said, and I'm gonna pick the second one.
I want to go with this defensive tackle.
So you want Jordan Davis?
Yeah.
He is a monster.
The reason why I want to go with him is because
click plus for that.
Yeah, the reason why I want to go with him is this. I want to litigate.
Look at that trade offer. You get to trade back 4 spots and you pick up the 52nd overall pick.
Is that for this pick right now we're doing?
Yeah, 16th pick.
I would have to accept it and gamble. Because if
let's do that. I want to accept that trade.
Because if they're not picking my defensive tackle, like who do they take? Oh, those
They took Penning. That's fine.
So
if Jordan Olave went, we're really in good shape. I'm declining that offer. Reject that. That's a terrible offer.
I'm taking Davis. I'm taking Davis right now. Pick 21.
Hold
so
on.
They want Davis.
No, reject that. We don't want that one either.
It'd be fun to see who they would take.
Man,
people want this pick.
Yeah. 25 and 57 for 19 and 124.
But you were going to get
picking
20.
up a 2nd round pick here, though.
What was what were the Patriots giving him, a 3rd rounder?
Yeah, 3rd rounder. 80.
Listen, I'm telling you, my theory is we should hit accept just to see. Whoever we trade that pick to, they're taking Jordan Davis. I swear to God.
Hit accept. Hit accept to that one. Who'd they take? They took Derek Stingley, which, by the way, I actually think we lost out there. We take Derek Stingley there in a heartbeat. He's a stud cornerback. All right, so we got to reject some of these picks. Oh, look at that.
The 2023 reject. Bye. Bye.
Reject that one.
Jesus.
Reject that one. Okay, so we're up now.
Jordan Davis. Oh, we already picked him at 15.
Yeah, we picked Jordan Davis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
I thought he was.
So Devin
he wouldn't
Lloyd,
have made it to 20 though.
Devin Lloyd is still. No. Devin Lloyd is still there, inside linebacker, stud from Utah. Jamison Williams is still there, the right receiver that's fallen, torn ACL.
No, I don't want that.
Jermaine Johnson's the edge rusher I've been telling you about. Now here gets a little bit fun. I love Nakobe Dean. I think he's better than Devin Lloyd. I want Nakobe Dean here, and it's my pick, so I'm going Nakobe Dean, and I'm taking both players from Georgia.
I'll tell you why I like that. And I didn't get to say this, but because we got all excited about all these trade offers the Eagles got were just nuts. Holy shit, everybody won. What the fuck?
Well, this is a simulator, bro. They're simulating trade offers.
I'm hoping this has happened in real life. These are some hot fucking offers.
Amazing. Hit reject to that.
Yeah, so this is why I like those picks. I want to litigate Jonathan Gannon. The thing about that is, whether you agree he's good or not, this school of thought is, which I don't agree with, is he's not good because he doesn't have players on defense. Well, if you have Riddick, you have Davis, you have N'Kobe Dean, now you have some playmakers. If you can't get it done this year, you're out as defensive coordinator, in my opinion.
So now you have a linebacker and you have a defensive tackle with your first 2 picks.
Right.
You're sitting on the clock at 25. Now we're going to make this pick together. You can get yourself an edge rusher in Jermaine Johnson, who's still sitting there. You can get Treylon Burks.
I was just going to ask you about him.
Treylon Burks?
I like him because he's
DK Metcalf-like.
So my question is this. If we wait on Treylon Burks with our pick that we acquired, can we get him in the second round? Or is he gone?
It's possible. See, now, let me tell you why you could wait on Treylon Burks. Because if you don't get Treylon Burks, I think the best receiver in this class could be Jahan Dotson. And Jahan Dotson will be there early second round.
I want a 6'3" fucking physical receiver.
Jahan Dotson and Treylon Burks are those two. Treylon Burks is the bigger one, though.
So let's take the edge rusher.
All right, give me Jermaine Johnson. We're going to really stack up our defense and hope.
Now, we're doing 3 first-round picks, right?
That's our third one.
You said that's supposed to happen in real life.
It's not going to happen in real life. That's okay. Treylon Burks went to Kansas City.
Son of a bitch.
That's okay. Jahan Dotson went to Jacksonville. So we made a critical mistake here. Jahan Dotson or Treylon Burks should have been a Philadelphia Eagle.
Where's our second-round picks that we acquired?
They're coming. They're in the 50s. We have 250 picks. There's 51 and 52 back-to-back. We're coming. Here we go. We're rejecting this trade offer because we're only doing 2 rounds anyway. Okay. What do we got on the board? I got to see this a little bit better. Kenneth Walker's a very good running back from Michigan State, Heisman Trophy finalist. You got another edge rusher. Yeah, we made a mistake here, bro. I'm looking at the board. Scroll down a little bit on the right side if you don't mind. Stop right there. Carson Strong, quarterback out of Nevada. Edge rusher out of Penn State. He's a stud, but we already took one. Jesus, man. It got thin.
Real quick.
Good players, but nowhere near what we got in the first round.
So I think in real life, I think they might have went receiver.
We can just stop this.
They might have went receiver in the first round and one of those picks because
you have to
because of the signing of Derek Barnett as a rotational.
Let's run one more. I just let me see if we can start this over. Just pick any player you want. Doesn't matter. Back to back. We'll get to the 2 rounds.
What the simulator is telling you though, with the Eagles having 3 first-round picks, it's believing that they're going to trade back for one of those picks are going to get traded.
Yeah, just pick Kenneth Walker, and then pick. Reject that, and then take Sam Williams, edge rusher. Yeah, we should get through the second round here. Oh, we got one more pick. Look at that, because we picked up the extra pick. Reject that offer, and then we'll take Alec. Give me Alec Pierce. That's a good wide receiver out of Cincinnati. We should be done the second round in a second. Once we're done the second round, we can restart. We're going to do it one more time.
It's still not a bad first 3.
Not at all. Look at that. That's 6 players. Start new sim if you don't mind.
But in real life, one of those are getting traded.
100%.
Yeah.
So we're going to pick the Eagles again. 2 rounds. And then let's draft. I love this, dude. I've been doing this all day, by the way.
I could tell. You're geeky, but it's fun.
Bro, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm a draft nut.
I am too, believe it or not. I'm
going to go with the not.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I went to 4 drafts 4 years in a row when I was in New York City.
Hold on. Let's look at the offer. No, reject that. They're not even give us a first-round pick back. Okay, so here we are on the board here. Now, Jordan Davis obviously went 12 this time. So you have Kenny Pickett. You have Malik Willis. Both quarterbacks didn't go.
Wow.
You have Trevor Penning, who's the great offensive tackle from Northern Iowa. Stud. Olave's there. Devin Lloyd's there. Jermaine Johnson's there.
I gotta ask you this. So I know if Malik Willis is there, do you have to consider this?
No.
You don't want him?
I don't want him.
You're not buying the hype?
No.
Okay. What about Kenny Pickett?
I get to go first. I like Kenny. I get to go first here. I'm going to take Derek Stingley Jr.
Okay.
Give me a plus on that one. Great cornerback lockdown. Let's see that. See, I take that. I take that.
What do you
You
think?
go back 4 spots, and you pick up 52.
Okay.
I take that.
So I want this Arkansas kid. I don't feel like he's getting past.
Okay, accept that trade. Kenny Pickett went.
That's
Jermaine Johnson went. Trevor Penny went. We're great.
I want the Arkansas kid.
So hold on. We get to pick 19 and 20. So we got 2 back-to-back picks. So hit reject on that. Ooh, reject that, even though I might take that.
Wasn't the offer before that better though? It was,
No, that's 29 and 50.
We were dropping down to 22 in the 19.
Yeah, but you were getting a 5th-round pick. Jesus, they want this pick. Reject that too. Okay, so now you have your opportunity. 19, 20. You can take a couple guys here. You got 2 picks back-to-back at this point. Malik Willis is still on the board.
But you're out.
I'm out on him. I don't like him. But it's your pick. You get to pick whoever you want. You get 2 picks.
I want this Burks kid. I don't think he's going to be around.
Then take Nakobe Dean and Treylon Burks. Take Nakobe Dean, number 26.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean's still there too.
I love Nakobe Dean. I reject that. He wants Burks, so we're going to reject. That's a lot of picks, though. Reject that. Reject that. That's a great offer. Scroll down a little bit on the right side. You'll see Treylon Burks. Take him. All right, so we're living with this right now. So right now we got a middle linebacker, we got a cornerback, and we got a big wide receiver.
Right.
It's not a bad first round.
No.
All right, so we're picking again in the second round. Let's see what's sitting there. Now, keep in mind, we didn't take an edge rusher.
Right.
We need one, and I think the second round will be filled with them.
You know, so there are some remaining free agents out there too.
No, there's not.
All
The Eagles have no money. Stop it.
You could get some
Don't
people
say
cheap.
silly things like this again.
What about Melvin Gordon? He could be cheap.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon wouldn't be bad. Reject that offer. We're going to make just our picks tonight. Reject that one, too. It's a terrible offer. What do we got here? Breece Hall, running back from Iowa State.
I like Breece Hall.
Jahan Dotson's still there. Bro, I don't care if it's 2 wide receivers. Jahan Dotson could be the best wide receiver in this class. Give me Jahan Dotson. I want him.
So
Mark it on the board.
Is there any hometown flavor on that analysis, or tell me why you feel that way?
Because you were throwing him the ball the last 2 years, and he was one of the best receivers in college football.
So
you were throwing him the ball.
I got a pretty good deep ball. I mean, you haven't seen it, but
Jahan Dotson is going to be a stud in the NFL. Trust me when I tell you,
Reject
if
that
Jahan
offer.
Dotson's in the second round, you have to take that.
No, I don't disagree. Reject that offer.
You
Because
get
I want Breece Hall. I want Hall.
You want the running back.
I want Hall because listen, it's
We
going to
don't
be a
have
running.
hold on. We don't have an edge rusher though.
But who's there?
Boy Maffey from Minnesota is not a bad edge rusher.
Someone you got to jump on.
Cameron Thomas from San Diego State, not a bad edge rusher. You want Breece Hall?
I want Breece Hall.
Give him Breece Hall. That's what he wants.
I think it's a value pick right there.
It's definitely a value pick. Breece Hall it could be a top running back in this draft. Let's see what goes. Because we're not picking the third round, but let's just see where they go. Look at that. Cameron Thomas just went there. Look at that right now. And you tell me how much better your team is.
A ton. You improved.
You have a middle linebacker.
You improved your defense.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you improved.
You have a lockdown cornerback and a stud middle linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 stud wide receivers to add to Devontae Smith.
Yep. And you get the guy that's going to take.
And you
over
get a
Miles
running back. Yep.
That's going to take Miles Sanders' job when he's gone next year. So.
Yeah, I love that. All right, you can exit out. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. Jamie did a great job back there. Awesome job, man. It's 7:18. Can we start Guess That Eagle?
Sure. 8:18.
8:18. Sorry.
17. Yeah, I mean, I got mine ready. We're both going to do one now, so you can.
I love it.
I could go first.
Guess the Eagle.
Or you could go first.
You tell me. I'll let you pick.
You go first.
So I'm guessing the Eagle.
No, you're giving me the Eagle to guess.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So do you remember how it goes?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to ask a ton of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I can only answer yes or no.
Okay.
And you get 30 seconds. So let me start the timer. You want to do?
It's
You want to
only
do a
30?
minute? Let's do a minute for you.
I feel like we've always done a minute 30. It's
Yeah.
like fuck.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
1 minute. Go.
What era did he play in? Like 90s.
I can only answer yes or no. By the way, let's
Okay.
start. We're gonna start it over because Godfrey didn't understand the rules.
1990s player.
No.
2000 player.
Yes.
Okay. Defense.
No.
Okay. Quarterback.
No.
Running back.
Yes.
Okay. All-time leading rusher for the Eagles.
No.
Brian Westbrook.
No.
Running back.
Yes.
Okay. Early 2000s.
Yes.
Played at the Vet.
Yes.
Corral Buckhalter.
That is correct. 30 seconds on the dot. General Corral Buckhalter.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
That was solid.
All right, cool.
All right. Are you ready for mine?
Yes.
Let me get my timer ready. Great job, Godfrey.
Thank you.
All right. 90s player.
No.
2000s.
No.
2010s.
No.
Current player.
No.
80s player.
Yes.
End of 80s.
No.
Early 80s.
Yes.
Offensive player.
Yes.
Quarterback.
No.
Running back.
No.
Wide receiver.
Yes.
Mike Quick.
No.
Howard Carmichael.
Correct.
Bang. Let's go. 22 seconds.
Howard Carmichael. I thought that was going to be tougher. I was looking at that one. And the reason I was surprised, I really shouldn't be. He's the all-time Eagles receiver. I wanted you to ask, I was going to ask something like, if you asked what, I wanted to say, where did he end his career? And I'm like, Dallas, because not a lot of people were, it was like a stab to the heart. In 84, he played in Dallas.
I think yours was a fluke. I'm giving you another one.
Okay.
I think it was a fluke.
Tonight, you want to give me another one?
I'm giving you another one right now.
Okay, fine.
All right, I'm gonna hold on. Give me a second. I have to. You got that too quick, bro.
I'm better at trivia than people give me credit for.
All right, you ready? I'm gonna make it a little bit tougher.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Offensive player.
Yes.
1980s.
No.
1990s.
No.
2000s.
Kind of.
Okay. Kind of. All right. Quarterback.
No.
Wide receiver.
Yes.
Was he born in New Jersey?
I don't know.
Did he play his whole career for the Eagles?
No.
Okay. Did he retire an Eagle?
No.
Irvin Fryer.
No. 17 seconds.
Did he ever play in a playoff game for the Eagles?
Yes.
Rob Carpenter.
No.
Kind of the 2000s. Okay.
Like late 2000s.
Late 2000s.
I'm helping you here.
Kevin Curtis.
No.
Reggie Brown. Nope.
You get one more guess. Timer's up. You get one more guess.
Late 2000s receiver. Jason Avant.
Very hot wife. The Mr. Hank Basket.
Oh, Christ.
But
yeah.
Listen, I'm going to give you
not a
each
memorable.
week.
Not a memorable.
Well, I had to give you a little harder one. I
should have asked Playboy. Wasn't his wife a Playboy playmate?
Yes.
Okay, should have.
You said, was he born in New Jersey? I'm like, I don't know.
I was thinking Irvin Fryer because you.
I got it.
But I thought you meant early, but you meant late 2000s guy.
Yeah, late 2000s. Like 2008 to 2012.
Because Irvin Driver, he was born in New Jersey. He went to high school in Mount Holly.
Dude, I have so much fun doing that crap.
Yeah, Hank Basket. Also, I believe he was the guy that didn't recover the ball in the Super Bowl against the Colts and Saints. Was he the guy that kind of muffed it? And the Sean Payton onside kick?
Talking about the onside kick?
Yeah.
That could be absolutely correct. He was a Colt during that time.
I believe he's the one that like muffed it and they recovered it, and I could have gone the other way. Although
Hank Basket.
Although much as I love Peyton, everybody forgets he threw a fucking pick six in that game. So
I'd like to thank my hands.
Like the what? Oh,
thank my hands. Who's that?
Freddie Mitchell.
That's right.
Fucking
number 26 pick out of UCLA.
I remember the one fucking clip they found on the news of him catching a deep ball, and it was like a broken play, and you're like, "Ooh, I never even heard of this guy. Who is this guy? Did you hear about him during college? Do you remember him?
FredEx?
Yeah. Do you remember hearing about Freddie Mitchell?
He always delivered.
Yeah. And he also got weed delivered to his house and got in trouble for that too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nobody's worse than Josh Huff.
Yeah.
Get caught with the gun in the car.
Yeah, over the bridge. He got caught by the Delaware Port Authority too,
yes.
I believe. I mean, how do you get pulled over? I don't know.
They said Nelson Aguilar had a gun also. The Eagles fans are undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
check Nelson. He has one too.
Yeah, that's like the Jalen Reagor one.
Yeah.
I think he's been gambling. I predict that after the draft, Jalen Reagor is going to be 4th or 5th on the depth chart.
Yeah, he has to be.
I mean, he can't even return kicks, really.
I'd take Quez over him.
I would, too. I don't think – one thing I want to say about receivers and Eagles, though, I do not think that Quez is a bona fide 2 or 3.
No, but he's a speedster that can take the top off a defense.
Correct, but he's not going to be a.
But you don't have a quarterback that can throw him the ball,
Right.
so that kind of sucks.
I think even let's say he played with a quarterback that was great. I don't think he's a 70-year-catch guy.
You know who he is if he played for Pat Mahomes?
Who?
He's Mecole Hardman.
Okay,
That's exactly who he is.
and I'd be okay with that. And that would be a good piece to use. But the problem is that's a prime example. We can't take advantage of all his skill set because
We don't have a quarterback
of the
that can throw the
facilitator
ball.
of the ball, right? I don't know if we didn't be able to take advantage of his whole skill set with Baker Mayfield, but he'd be able to take advantage more of it. There'd be a bigger route tree for them to run. And part of the reason I didn't say this earlier that I would take Baker on a 1 year over Jalen is because your receivers would be able to develop more
I
under him.
completely agree with you.
And you can't do
I
that.
hate agreeing with you so much, Godfrey. I want to argue with you.
You can't develop receivers if they're only running 2 or 3 routes. I mean, I don't like that, and that's the problem there. In the NFL, you have to pass. You could run 2, but this is the thing that Eagles fans don't get. One, there was a weak schedule. But let's say they didn't have a weak schedule. The NFL will adjust to Jalen Hurts. They are going to say, you're going to have to pass. They're not going to sneak up on anybody this year with that same offense. Am I crazy? Like, are they going to?
I don't think they snuck up on people this year. When they went
They
against a
didn't.
good defense, they did not play well.
They didn't, but I feel like toward the end of the season, even the shittier teams that they were playing were adjusting to what
Like
Jalen
the
Hurts.
Giants.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with
And then
you.
I think the better teams are going to adjust at a more ferocious.
Let me
and
ask you a
quick
question.
rate.
What do you think is a bigger concern for the Eagles? Jonathan Gannon's style of soft zone defense or Jalen Hurts' ability to press the football?
Jalen Hurts' ability to press football, no doubt.
I don't know if I can agree with you there. Jonathan Gannon's style of soft zone defense led to Derek Carr throwing 90% passing.
True. Now, I don't. The jury is still out on me from him. I don't know if he's. I'm not saying he's good, and I don't think he's good, as you heard on there. But the excuse I hear, and this is why I want this litigated through the draft. We've gotten Hassan Riddick. You have a playmaker. I want the guy in the middle, Jordan Davis or Nakobe Dean. And if we go no offensive player in the first round and take 2 defenders, I'm happy with that. And part of the reason I want that is I want Jonathan Gannon litigated this season. I want this thoroughly litigated because if you go defense heavy in the draft and you got Hassan Riddick and they play like shit, there's no excuse for him. He's got to go. He's got to go.
I completely agree with you.
So that's part of the reason why I want to go defense because 1, we need it. And 2, there's no excuse because the excuse is what did he have in playmakers? Okay, well Singleton's gone. Let's draft a linebacker. We got to sign Reddick that rushes the
Did
passer.
you say Singleton's gone?
Alex Singleton or whatever. Yeah.
So what?
I'm just saying like that.
Pro Football Focus's worst starting linebacker last year.
Hey man, he's great on the fantasy stats. No, but I agree. I'm just saying there's people that are gone. These are players.
What do you think about the Hassan Reddick signing?
I'm kind of mixed about it. I like it.
What do you mean you're mixed about it?
So
That's the best signing by far they have.
right, it is. The reason why I'm mixed is I have no doubts in his ability. I have no doubts in him as a player. He wants to be here. He grew up an Eagle fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
anything
from
that
Temple.
I am completely satisfied with the sign. You can help me clear this up because
Yes,
I'm not sure.
I'll
on
help
this.
you.
So he would play like the Joker role, right?
No, he's going to play edge rusher.
he's going to play DN.
He will play DN
Okay,
for this team.
all right, play DN. So
He already said it.
Okay, because I thought some people were saying like, well, I heard rumors like of players saying like, whoa, I'm seeing a lot more 3-4 in practice, things of that nature. So I didn't know if
Yeah, but if he plays 3-4, he'll be the outside linebacker,
Right.
DJ Watt type.
Mhm.
That just rushes the quarterback.
So
That's
I'm
what
not-
he's here to do.
yeah. Then if that's what he's here to do, and that's what he's good at, because it was a 3-4 in Carolina? Or
Yes, 3-4.
Right.
He played outside linebacker, which
Okay.
is why he's listed as a edge rusher, outside linebacker.
He's a hybrid,
/DN.
right?
I mean, he's an edge rusher. That's what he is.
Yeah, and
Like, they need to just call it a fucking position in the NFL.
right.
Edge rusher.
And I like that signing. I have no problems with it. I was just curious
I
about
love
how
that
they're
signing.
going to use him.
It's the only signing I liked how he did.
Yeah, I have no question about his ability. I just question how they're going to use them. I don't want them.
He's going to rush the passer.
Okay, then I'm on board.
They have a 4 rotational defensive end set. What they're going to do is they're going to run Reddick and Sweat as their starters, and then Brandon Graham coming back from his Achilles and Derek Barnett are going to be there, basically the reserves. Hassan Reddick can stop the run. He's a very good run stopper too, not just a pass rusher. Him and Brandon Graham are going to be your run stopping defensive ends. Sweat and Hassan Reddick are going to be your pass rushers, and Barnett's going to spell them.
Yeah,
That's what he's going to do.
I think too. The one thing the underrated thing, where it's been overplayed a lot, but in a good way. Him being an Eagles fan gives him an extra gear, in my opinion, because he grew up as an Eagles fan. I just feel like it's his home field, but it's really his home field, and he's gonna be playing with a sense of pride.
I agree,
and I think that gives you a little bit of an edge. You know, everybody's watching him that's local. He knows how the fan base is. He grew up being a fan. I mean, I like that. That when a guy wants to be somewhere, and he wants to show, and he's in his prime year still, that's awesome.
Big facts. Give me your counterfeit green this week.
Well, we kind of already talked about it. My counterfeit green is Eagles fans wanting players like Julio Jones. When we got an offense that isn't pass heavy, that's run heavy, and we have a quarterback that has shown he's not a distributor of the ball yet. Will that be the case and he becomes a distributor of the ball? I can't say no until he does. I think the odds are no, but at the same time, what's counterfeit about it is you want to spend money on a veteran like that, and I know that people, I don't care who disagree with me, I'd rather have Zach Pascal. Costs less money. I think he adds more to the team at this point in his career. You can't just add players like that and think it equals wins, because part of the reason, who knows if Julio wants to come here, because they want to catch the ball. And that's the simple
I
fact.
agree with everything you just said, except the fact that I'd rather have Zach Pascal.
Well, listen,
never
I'm not saying
in a million years did you ever say I'd rather have Zach Pascal.
He costs a lot less money, right?
I get it, bro.
You'll get the same production. Julio will be hurt 8 times of the year, and he won't be on the field.
You can't say you'd rather have Zach Pascal than a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
If Julio was giving me a full season or
I'd rather have
games,
Jerry Rice.
I'll do him.
I'd rather have Jerry Rice in his 50s over Zach Pascal.
I'd rather have Jerry Rice in his 50s than Julio Jones.
That's fair. My counterfeit green this week is the HowieSZN fans, the Howie fanatics, the ones that are talking about how great of an offseason he's been having and how good of a GM, and the Eagles giving him an extension. Howie's had a terrible offseason. Terrible. Hasn't addressed anything. He's obviously pissed off. Listen, I know Jalen Hurts got thick skin, but don't tell me your quarterback's not pissed off when you're constantly. That's like me being like, baby, I'm loyal. I've never cheated on you. But you're constantly hitting on women everywhere. Just no one said yes yet.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. And he's had a terrible offseason. I think that he's made one signing, which is Hassan Reddick. Zach Pascal's not a signing. That's a bullshit.
Well, it's not one to be celebrated, that's for sure.
He's re-signed Derek Barnett. He's re-signed Boston Scott.
Yeah.
Anthony Harris.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Come on, dude.
When I saw Anthony Harris, I was like, that was the sound I made. I was like, great.
Well, that's my counterfeit green this week. Guys, we're going to have a lot to talk about in 2 weeks from now. The draft will be in full effect. We'll do a lot more of those simulators. I can't wait to do those. I love those simulators. And by the way, just FYI, we're going to have a draft special because we go on right before the first round of the NFL draft. In a month from now, we'll be on the right before. So we have to draft special. It has to be like from 6 to 7. Godfrey, I don't know what you're going to do at your show, but there's zero chance that we're doing it during the first round of the draft.
Oh, you mean the well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about it more from there. But you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got, guys. Thanks for tuning in every 2 weeks. Like I said, we'll be going full-time again once I think training camp starts. But, it's going to be draft heavy. It's an exciting time of the year. Got a lot of draft picks. And thanks for tuning in. You know where to find the episodes. Birds Deep, Amazon Music, pretty much any of your favorite podcast platforms. And you go to the Birds Deep page to watch the whole video, or youtube.com/playtoxic. I'm usually on 6 to 7 Thursdays. Then we have this 7:30. But, pay attention because sometimes we shift stuff around. Gene will always be on 8 to 9:30
to 10 o'clock.
8:30
Wednesday night, Wire to Wire Sports Podcast.
I always think it's 9:30 for some reason. It's because it's 8:30 to 10 every Wednesday. So same place, same time, Wire to Wire. But this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye. Just saying, take it Birds Deep.